everybody. It's Johnston, Corn Nation. I am ready to do a season prediction for the 2021 Nebraska football season. I know you're excited. You should be excited. By God, the season's only a few days away, and we get to start out in the Big Ten Conference playing against an Illinois team that kind of embarrassed us last season. So we're going to find out right away whether or not our beloved Husker football team is actually ready to play decent, good football. Now, I'm going to save my Illinois prediction for later in the week, and I plan this season to do predictions because I know that they're a way that you guys can all abuse me and have fun doing it. And if there's one thing you should know about life, it's your place in it. And one thing I've discovered about my life, and discovered this a long time ago, is that I am in life to give everyone someone to feel better than. And I'm okay with it. So when I do these predictions, I want you to feel good about yourself by destroying me. Okay, let's get going. 6-6. That's what everybody's pretty much prediction for Nebraska football is this season. And why? Well, because fourth year in, Scott Frost really hasn't shown us a lot, has he? I mean, the team just hasn't come together. Hasn't played good football really so far. Had opportunities sometimes and threw them away. Remember that Colorado game where we had the lead and we just tossed that thing in the bag, threw it in the trash? I'm not going to go with 6-6. To me, that seems kind of wimpy. Doesn't seem any fun. There's two ways to go with this prediction. You could be credible. You could be kind of like, oh, we're going to be 6-6, and maybe that'll be improvement. We'll get to a bowl game. But it's not really fun, and I don't believe that you should actually do predictions like that. Plus, I expect big things. I know that I said 8-4 in the last video would be a successful Nebraska season, and I think that this team is capable of getting to 8-4. Actually, that is my baseline expectation for this year, for this season. For this Scott Frost team, 8-4 is the base for me. Remember, I'm the eternally optimistic guy that's always let down. 9-3 would be on par with being a little bit nutty, being a little bit delusional. But I'm not a little bit delusional. I'm full-blown delusional. So we're going to go with 10-2 with losses to Ohio State and Michigan. And yes, I think we're going to beat Oklahoma. I do think we're going to beat Oklahoma right now. What's going to happen in that game? We're going to walk in there with a halfway decent football team. All week long, Oklahoma's going to hear about how they're going to run the table and destroy Nebraska, and Nebraska's going to surprise them. We're going to run the ball effectively, keep their offense off the field, and play decent defense, not have a lot of turnovers. I did say I was full-blown delusional, but come on! Either get on the bus or get the fuck out of here. 10-2 is what I'm going with. There are a lot of ifs with this Nebraska team. There are a crap ton of them. I know that. You know that if you're a Nebraska fan. Number one, turnovers. We have to, if we're going to get to 10-2, my prediction for the season, we're going to have to be much better at turnovers, which means we're going to have to play every game with an even turnover margin, or our defense is going to be plus on the takeaways. Do we have a defense that's capable of doing that? I think we have a pretty decent defense. I think we certainly are going to defend, I think, well against the pass and get a lot of interceptions. So that's number one. Penalties, obviously, another big killer. Nebraska in the past they've had drive-killing penalties on the offense a lot. Or they've had penalties that kept the other team's drives a lot. Those have to be eliminated. That means more discipline. Adrian Martinez. Adrian Martinez has the physical skills to be one of the best quarterbacks Nebraska's ever seen. His decision-making skills in the past 3 seasons have been poor. Is that going to change this year? You know what? Joe Burrow wasn't Joe Burrow until one magic season in LSU. So why in the hell not? Why can't Adrian Martinez be who I want him to be, the explosive wonder boy who throws and hits receivers no matter if they're 5 yards downfield or 30 yards wide open, because that's where Samori Toure and Omar Manning are going to be. wide open downfield. And that leads me to the receivers as being a big if for Nebraska. Do we have a proven receiver? Well, Austin Allen, tight end. Other than that, no. We have a lot of potential, just like every other position. Running back. Do we need to find a running back? No. We need to find like 2 or 3 of them. Okay? So Gabe Irvin's going to be the guy that starts. And Sevion Morrison's going to be the guy that spells him. Marvin Scott's going to be the guy that spells him. And we're just going to be fresh. And we're going to be running the ball well. Why? Because our offensive line is up to the task. Scott Frost recently said he has like 8 or 10 receivers he feels comfortable with. When, I don't think he said that before. That would be something different, wouldn't it? Correct me if I'm wrong. I know you will, because that's what you do. But most of the time, what we've heard from Scott Frost in the past is that I don't think he's ready. That's what he said about guys. And now we have 8 to 10 receivers that are ready. We have 4 running backs, apparently, that they're comfortable with. I feel a lot better about that, don't you? Are you just still whimpering, hiding under your bed because we might lose a lot? Special teams. Good God, we have to get better at special teams. I mean, we finally got Connor Cope as one of the best field goal kickers in the Big Ten last season. But if you played high school football, what was the one thing you were taught on special teams? Stay in your lane, right? It's a matter of discipline, kind of like that penalties thing I mentioned earlier. Stay in your lane down the field so you don't cut over on the inside or cover over on the outside, and give the guy that's returning the ball a lane in the space you just left because you wanted to make the big play. So special teams discipline, big thing there. Punting, well, we have a new Daniel Cerny Aussie guy coming in. Maybe he'll be all Big Ten punter dude. I'm counting on it. Why else would I predict a 10-2 season? Well, earlier today I read a piece from Athlon Sports predicting Wisconsin to have a 10-2 season. Why them and not us? Well, they've proved it. I get that. But when you look at the Big Ten West, you have teams that all over the place they have holes. Okay? So Illinois, you got a new coach in Burt, you got a new defense, you got a gob of seniors, but you really don't know what you're going to get from them. And we are going to find out a lot about this Nebraska team and Illinois when we play the initial beginning Big Ten season, start of the season game this weekend. Next week I might say, well, shit, fuck everything, we're going 3-9 after watching how we play against Illinois. Because if we don't win that game, I think it's basketball season, honestly. You can't be embarrassed by him last year and not beat the shit out of him this year. Purdue, they don't have a defense. David Bell's one of the best receivers in the nation, but they don't have a defense. They can't figure out their defense. Jeff Brom, I think he's a good coach, but it's like he's like, what's defense? I don't care. Northwestern, they don't have any offense to speak of, but, they're rock fighters. They don't really need one. The problem is I believe they've lost their defensive coordinator who was around for 843 years and tons of talent and experience off their defense. So Northwestern out of there. Minnesota, they have a talented quarterback in Tanner Morgan. They have Mo Ibrahim, who is excellent and probably one of the best backs in the Big Ten because he just gets yards. Ottman Bell's been injured. Last I heard about him today was that he's gone from week to week, to day to day. So that's an improvement for them. Those 3 guys are really big for them on offense. But again, they still have a lot of holes. Wisconsin, why did Athlon Sports give them a 10-2 prediction record? Well, because when you look at their schedule, all of the games that might be questionable for them are at home. Penn State, Michigan, Iowa, Northwestern, Nebraska, all at home. That's just, it's like set up to win the Big Ten West. It's like Barry Alvarez had something to do with that or something. Wisconsin's offense is only going to go as far as Graham Mertz can take them. And if you watched last season, Graham Mertz in the beginning game of the year against Illinois was like 20 of 21 against an Illinois defense that didn't even bother regarding a receiver. He literally threw to wide open guys that if I had any arm strength, I could have hit. He didn't have any pressure. It was literally like a scrimmage. And then later in the year, Wisconsin petered off into poopy offense. So they have holes. They have a lot of question marks. They have perhaps talented running backs, but again, they don't have any, there's no Jonathan Taylor here that I see. The one guy they had that was a Wisconsin running back who was like the guy that just gets yards, Groshek, I think it is, he's gone. Jake Ferguson, excellent tight end, one of the better tight ends in the nation for them. Iowa, they're just consistently between 6-5 and 9-3 or something, right? Or 6-6, 7-5 and 9-3. That's Iowa. That's who they are. Are they going to be good this year? I think, like Wisconsin, Spencer Petras, the quarterback, is going to take them. That's as far as their offense is going to go. Tyler Goodson is a damn good running back. Look, I said something nice about Iowa. They lost their do-everything kick returner, punt returner, receiver guy from last year. But Iowa, holes in several places, defensive lines, question mark. Everybody has something wrong with them. We just have kind of maybe more than others, but we got a lot of potential. Did I say that? Potential? All right, if you made it this far, I want to tell you a secret about predictions, okay? This is how predictions work when you're doing what I do, which is write and talk and blather on about stuff. The key to getting known for doing good predictions is this. You make a lot of them, and then you only remind people of the ones you got right. Phil Steele in college football is excellent at this. Phil Steele makes the best college preview magazine because he works his ass off and he's really good at what he does. But if you read his magazine, I didn't buy it this year, but it's about 300 pages usually. Yeah, about 150 of those pages are Phil Steele telling you what he got right in his previous magazines. That he's the #1 predictor of all things. He has whole gobs of options for making predictions, and then he reminds you of the ones you got right. Okay, 10-2, that is my prediction for the 2021 Nebraska football season. Am I delusional? Probably. Are we going to get there? Probably closer to 9-3. But I think we're going to have a really good season. Please subscribe to our channel. You'll want to get notified because I will probably say endless amounts of stupid things this season. And you want to be there to abuse me when they come out. Right? I hope you're doing well. Go Big Red. We're almost there to the 2021 Nebraska football season.